So let's see if everything is right. Yes, it should be. Let's see. Loading, loading. Hello, Blender folks. Welcome and welcome back. Yes, where is the screen? It seems all black here. Well, yes, it's ready. Sorry. So, hello, Blender folks. Welcome and welcome back. This is epistemic-gnomes. So, we're going to continue the very boring, extremely boring, no, maybe not so boring, workflow demonstration of some, I would say, Bone Manager extension or add-on. Yeah, it's an extension basically. So we're going to, what I'm doing is that I'm transferring, this is a continuation. So I've made some progress offline, right? I fixed the custom rig for the system of the leg. So I'm transferring the, not exactly transferring, I'm like recreating from scratch the bone structure from one armature object to another. I'm doing this in part for exercise, but also because my rig is, the old rig is from older version and it is broken regarding the, at least this add-on, or the add-on is broken for older rigs, armature objects. So this is why I'm doing this, but also it's good exercise and for me to remember step by step and clear up stuff. But it's a bit long process, but it is manageable right now, fortunately, so I can handle it. So good things here is that I was able to finish this new setup here, and it seems working. It's not the best thing, but yeah, it works basically. I think there might be a way to solve this. Yes, but this is not the topic, sorry. So basically this I was tackling last time, and basically we have double controls here for this. The blue bones here, they are the control rig, so we can control the whole rig from, well, except for the IKEA masters, right? So they don't move the feet, right? So you have this hip sway thing. But at the same time, yeah, the character is not skinned yet to this armature, to these deformed balls, but you're gonna just retarget the mesh objects armature modifiers to the new armature object when we go. This is the old X Dorothy, and the armature Dorothy is the new. So here we're not gonna address the skinning, but we'll still be adding the deformed bones and the helper bones, whatever is needed. All right, so I need to be careful because the glitch or the problem with the was huge lag when I enabled some features here on the other armature, like this. Yeah, so. But here you see no lag, it's perfect. So this is what we need to create in order to make a rig UI for the Bone Manager. And CG Dive has made a recent tutorial on how this works. I never did that, so this will be the final step. Because first for me, so we're gonna show that still, so that will be interesting for me and perhaps for you as well. So this is also part of, and also we're gonna add a custom properties. Actually, there's already something we can add here because the old, yeah, I'll keep this one. I just cannot right click to change the, you see there's a little lag here, but delay, but it's not any close to what we have in the other. So here this other X Dorothy, so this I need to be careful about what I do here, otherwise even here now this will cause major lag and even crash maybe because of streaming. Okay, so the leg is complete, the foot rig is sort of completed except for the helper deformed bones, I guess. And yeah, let's get the custom rig thing. Yeah, the custom, yeah, good topic here. Let's make the rig. There's a bone here which controls the here. So this bone here controls, it has a data here, a value, doesn't matter. So switch custom properties. So now I have just a bone on the other rig, which is this one. It's no, it's not this one. It's this one here. It's called just prop. So properties, right? So root prop, and this is a secondary root, is just for the grease pencil. It's equivalent of this value here. So this doesn't matter, ignore. Maybe it's good for you if you, just like me, like to use the grid to sketch about grease model sheet, but this is not necessary. If you use a grid, a model sheet, which grids come from already the exported image file, like an image reference in Blender, so that you don't need this technique. So it might be better, but I like the grease pencil because it's all in in Blender. Right? It's good to be able to tweak the thing the model sheet directly here. It's so much versatile, but it's annoying, right? There are special technique, right? So here we got to yeah. So I need to catch this bone here because it contains the setup of the, let's catch both rigs here. So this let's see, yes, this bone seems to be selected, right? Looks like not both armature are in edit mode. Now they are. Okay, see both here. So I'm grabbing this bone. This has got some sort of custom properties. Yeah. Well, strange. They are not appearing. X Dorothy. Yeah, this bone. Oh, maybe it's on pose mode. Oh yes, so I see a lot of custom properties indeed. So I need to find a way to replicate this in the other bone. So I'm not just gonna, yeah, it should be, if I batch everything now. It's just that currently I just have some drivers here on the some sort of high heel stance. So what matters for me is the custom value. I don't even know what's this. Ice track. Okay, fit stance. This is one, fit stances. Head track, eye key head. There's an eye key bone constraint on the head and some head bone, mechanism head bone, so you can do a combination of eye key. But that's another story. Right, so then pin, elbow, pin, yeah, all the 4 pins, and this is something about this is default of I think wiggle to Addon, I guess, not sure, so I'm not gonna touch this. So here, what is this one? I don't remember this one, maybe created accidentally. I remember having created this value, but what is this value? No, it's oh yes, I remember this. This is a sort of a converter. It's just a custom value for degrees, radians, so that we can, this is the value of degrees and in radians that I need to get to the high heel stance. So we're gonna see what it does in a moment. So anyways, I don't need this, just a backup thing. We could have this noted anywhere else. So here we need to create this, recreate this custom prop. Float fit stance, default 1, 0, 1, default, plain data. We're gonna copy this information here, so just a description. Subtype plain data, library variable, yes, because we want linking files. So we're gonna, okay, let's click here. So this is the new armature object, new custom property. You see this is already here by default. We're gonna change this stuff. So property name, fit stance. So this is a very special technique or method for enabling the character rest pose to be by default with already bent or yeah, heel, the high heel, and in this way we can rig the character. It's one way of doing it, right? You said that right now. That's not okay. Let's return here. So feet stance. So it's which feet stance we get. So there's the flat feet and there's the high heel stance. Yeah, so that's a 1. Yeah, so this is everything default. Just here we're gonna paste flat feet stance equals 0. So the flat feet stance is not the default rest pose, but the high heel stance 1 equal is the heels leverage and torso height. So these are two things that this controls. It controls the torso leverage, the heels leverage, and the torso leverage. Well, it gets height then by same amount, I guess. So in this way, there's something that I found later. So we can just make a small tweaking to the, yeah, the character becomes a bit taller, and in this way the feet stance, they don't oh, this is the old armature, hold on. In this way the character doesn't bend the knees, the legs, as we get the feet stance, because you see, if the character is wearing high heel boots or something like that, high heel stance, then if this doesn't leverage, then she'll be in this pose, which is not non-natural, and it is not what we want. So we need two things to be two drivers, actually the three drivers, actually even more than that, but drivers on this bone that affects the torso bone, and so this will change not the rest position of the character of the armature object. Neither of the mesh object and the armature object, the rest position on edit mode is the flat foot. So if we say flat foot, this is the rest position, but with the driver you get an instant transforms as long as that custom property is set to 1. And so we get, and the 1 is the default in this case. I want this to be the default. So that's how we handle this. Let's return to the bone. Actually, it's this one. So, okay, this is the feet stance. It's just like this that we need. See the name here, gonna save. And now what I need to do is just to, yeah, and it's gradual, so it's cool. So we need now to add some, yeah, the setup. I have to revise the, so here is the setup, right, of the advanced foot rig. There are many ways to do this, but I like this one. Okay, it's the most popular one, I guess. There's one interesting where there's an extra bone here. Maybe it's a triangulation. So it works the same way, like it's similar. It's just some slight different. And I don't remember. I have it somewhere saved in a favorite, bookmarked from YouTube, but it's original. Okay, so different at least. So now what we need to do is that what happens is that the high heel implies that this will be the new rest pose, something like that. Of course, we need to see the angle. Here I see the angle on, you see there's about 28 degrees. That was the angle of the, for these particular high heel boots that I've calculated for previously. So I'm not changing the mesh object, the character model, I'm changing the armature object, or actually I'm remaking the armature object. And so now the bones already exist, actually. Okay, so let's see, the left, yeah, so what you need to see here is that it's not here that matters. The stance is exactly here. So instead of starting the stance from I don't know why this bone is like that. I think I need to reset some. Oh no, I know what this is about. Is that because this has some, yeah, we need to fix something here. There is an alignment with regarding some aim targets here. You see this cursor, it might not be aligned, so we're gonna get here and this. We're gonna just SY, no, it's a cursor, 3D cursor, SY0, SY0, yeah, it's not working, okay, so why not? Then maybe it's SX0, no? SX0. Yeah, it is going, so why it is toggling? Yeah, it is having this so it's not something about the custom shape, it's something about this dumped track. Seems to be I don't understand really. Oh, the target. Yeah, it has the wrong target. Aim hand, of course. So this, there are things like this for the hand, but this is for the foot. So you need this, and also here, foot left. So these two. Then we're gonna resymmetrize this, and there we go. Fixed. The hands, the ones for the hands. So you don't touch this, right? Otherwise they can do this. This could be used. I haven't found any use for that. So usually this just it's a different way of controlling the hands, the behavior of the hands with the I key posing. So in one behavior, and they stack, they are additive, right? So in one way they get, well, it would be better to do in the other rig, right? You see the hand. In this one, we have the hand that lags behind it. It doesn't rotate. So it stay aligned, oriented in the way we want. And this one actually rotates the palm with all the fingers, right? So, and that, so these two behaviors are additive. So it's a way to, so this is why you need this setup. So here is not too complicated, but I could only figure out years later of rigging. I've made a highlight, gnomes highlight somewhere, not this year, I guess, on this year, that explains how this setup works in case you're interested. Okay, so here we need to go back to the bones here. So there's something about the mechanism bones on the bone rolls on the advanced foot rig. So I know that these bones are the mechanism rig, so I don't need to do anything with the old rig here. It's just something about the new rig, and here you need to address the mechanism, only the mechanism roll. So see, I have a collection here just for this. This will help in this is not rolls. Well, this is actually rolls. So this is mechanism I key target, but the way this rig is done, this is still parented to the, yeah, so the parent is, well, you don't see, neither do I, parented mechanism roll toes, then this parented the mechanism roll heel. So it's all the same setup here so far, but then there are more this to do the thing that I do here. This goes a bit more complicated, very, very specific, This is one of the hardest things to, mechanically speaking, one of the hardest things. There are still caveats I can solve. If I want to do something better on top of this, I can't. It's one of the hardest mechanical problems of rigging I've ever found in Blender. Not for skinning. For skinning, this is not for skinning, but for because I needed to get the leverage of the heel to work even when the form and mechanism skeleton are offsetting. So I needed to have this leverage system replicate itself in the offset tweaking. So I could maintain my functional, and the final result, the final solution is not that complicated, but it's very minute detail. It's very, very tough to find logically. I had lots of trials and error. Probably I found it by trial and error more than logic, but of course trying to use logic is very hard to, because there are a lot of interactions here that are very so basically the trick here, or the tricks, what makes this happen, of course we have this, and then we have the, okay, you see that there might be different ways to address this, but this is the bone that was, yeah, okay, so the offset will, you see, separate the mechanism IK target, which is actually in this parenting system, you see, so it is being displaced, but it still works. So I can control the foot, the mesh, right, and I still have the leverage. So you see, some bones are following, some others not. They are following because this one, although this one is parent to this is parent to this, and this is parented to the tweak. Yeah, so this is like a master foot or a control foot, right? Some would perhaps make it the control IK. I don't know. It's a control foot, but it's a tweaker foot for the mesh, for the, and these bones here, this and this, the final of this, yeah, they are parented to it, and so these two parent to the tweaker, and this foot tweaker, right, and this one, yeah, and so this one gets, instead it follows something else. It has a very specific copy transforms bone constraint. You can probably split this in two, copy location, copy rotation, but this will work for, so it follows some very specific, not sure we need that. Yeah, I'm not sure, but okay, let's leave it like that. Custom space, map IK. So basically, this is the map IK foot. This will have just a copy location, because actually what it is doing, its rest position is like that, but it will maintain its rest position. So okay, so it's just copy location towards the master foot. This red, right, and the master foot is locked, is also following its parent, which is this arrow here. But anyways, ignore the arrow now. We just need this to understand. So this one is copying location, right? See, the master IK is here, the red, and so it's copying location, and so this copy location without copy rotation, I cannot pose it. Yeah, the rotation, I don't never touch these bones. A mechanism bone. Map IK foot, it maps the location of the IK foot, and that allows me to get the mechanism IK target to actually this copy transforms, yeah, it's free to move, but we don't pose this as mechanical, so it will sort of follow this position, but it's not rotate with it. It's rotating because, yeah, I'm not sure why it is rotating anyways, but the fact is that it's an additive thing, so it will not replace, right? Mix it, so it is this will stay in place in terms of rotation, so this will not allow this bone to make crazy rotations, unwanted rotations. Probably other ways to do this. Even this, I'm not sure why I did that way. Usually we don't use the local space on orientation with the... So this is a fake parenting bone constraint. This is fake for fake parent, but usually we use this one, so I'm not sure why in this case. Sometimes very specific that would be useful, but okay. So then what happens is that although the mech target IK gets display offset, right? Actually, it gets sticks in place, right? It is still rotating, and this allows it. It is still there, so that the control rig, the control leg here of these blue bones are control skeleton stuff, ending up in the foot, which is totally constrained. It's a mechanism IK owner. So the IK owner, alongside with this automator of the pole target, the pole target is parented to this setup. So all these will follow this, of course, but this bone is totally bone constrained to the mechanism IK owner. So this needs to follow this, while this needs to follow this. And despite the fact that it's offset, the setup still works. And then the... Oh, there's something that might be failing here to work. No, it's not failing. There's a little mistake here, I think. You see the leverage here? The knee is leveraging. There's a little mistake here. I think I forgot to solve this somehow. What is this bone? This is deformed foot. Oh, I know what this is. Wrong stretch to. So this stretch to the actual deformed foot. Oh, this is actually the right foot. Actually, sorry. Aha, see? The mechanism now is solved because I forgot to symmetrize. Yeah, the stretch to bone constraint of the mechanism. So now it mimics. It mimics the... hold on, let's check it better again. Now it mimics... So see the knee is being leveraging. So the shin doesn't lose its proportion, at least not visibly. Not for me, at least, it seems. So wherever the foot is, even if it's rotated. So we maintain the structural functionality of the IK foot, advanced IK foot without IK bone constraint leveraging system, but with the possibility of this offsetting. So this thing was the hardest thing I've ever found to rig, mechanically speaking, on a humanoid character, right? There's this is super hard, but it didn't take too long. Maybe it took me a couple of months from start to end, maybe a few more time. And it's like it's so complicated to explain that even I don't remember by every detail. Usually I tend to forget. Same of the advanced foot rule. I'm not very good on remembering this very complicated. It seems like I never, because I didn't create them entirely myself from scratch. I always sort of forget some details, so I always have to revise some older rigs, some other rigs or tutorials on my own rigs to see what I've done. But anyways, this is where you can see that this allows us for this crazy stuff besides the automation. You see, if I want to do F key, I can do F key with the 3D cursor with the tweak. This tweakering seems to be affecting the yeah, so sometimes I thought I didn't have this behavior here. I'm not sure right now. This shouldn't be changing the yeah, there is something. I think I've solved this already once. Okay, for some reason here there's don't seem to be changing the still rotating the okay, but this yeah, this is normal. But I'm looking at the yeah, no movement here, so this seems accurate. So I don't know, maybe I had a wrong selection. Very strange. Anyways, let's continue here, folks. Finally, enough explaining here. So basically what we need to do here to continue is to, yeah, the custom property. Yeah, so need to address the mechanism roles. Which has drivers. So the only driver actually, yeah, it's the driver in 2 bones, so you have to adapt them. Yeah, limit rotation here. Wait. Now I'm a bit confused. Let's see. Yeah, this is correct because the although it's called roll heel, this is not the bone that needs any driver for the. I've checked in principle, so it's confusing. But the only bone that actually needs the drivers is not in the copy rotation bone constraint, but in the limit rotation. It just needs a change in the limits. And this change is where it gets, and then we need to copy paste those values to the other. It's already done here, but we need to adapt some details of the driver. So because here what you have is the fit stance. Oh, it's called fit stance. Okay, we need to change this, and this is the value in radians. This is very annoying. Gonna oh, actually fit stance, right? Okay, let's change because I'm calling fit stance, right? This time it's one fit stance type, right? So I gotta now probably need to. I'm not sure why. Okay, so I get here. We need to update. Yeah, it's using the other armature, so I need to change this. It's the armature Dorothy, and I need to refer to not a new bone, which is prop, instead of this very complicated name. So just simplifying stuff, cleaning up, and then fit stance. Yeah, so this is the custom property, and this is the bone which holds the custom property. I think it's like this. And enable. So now if I enter here again, it seems that it is okay. So what I'm going to do is Maybe I have to recreate this, but I'm not sure. Let's go back to, yeah, where's the, some original bones here. Okay, so get here. Prop, yeah, it's prop, and it has indeed a custom fit stance. So I'm gonna copy this custom property here, I guess. Copy. Okay, copy full data path. I'm not sure this is the case, but um, okay, Bose bones. Let's see if this will be that. BPI data objects. Yeah, probably this is wrong. So it's not the full data path. Yeah, not the full data path. So I'm never sure why this is. I need to understand better. But this is okay. So if it's not this one, then it is the other. So copy data path, simple like that. And then we go here back and edit driver and make sure everything is deleted here. Right, Control V, enter. So this entered exactly that. So maybe if I did any mistake here, now it's solved. Yeah, it's object, armature object. Yes, it's some property inside here. Is there? It's not armature, so yeah, everything here seems to be correct. The fit stance property, right? It's like it doesn't want to. Okay, let's try this, and it's just the name of, maybe it can't accept the. Okay, let's delete everything. So it's not updating really. This one is correct. Um, okay, so maybe we're gonna recreate this. It seems to be disrupted. So delete driver, add driver. We're gonna start pasting this. We're gonna call fit stances. Fit stance. Yeah, here I don't want this can be confusing for the. Yeah, let's do like this just because it's just not to have the same name, right? And then we end up with the same problem of ear recognition. Well, let's try to. Yeah, that, but I want not a bone, I want a okay, it's not. Add input variable, it's not, it's a single property. Armature Dorothy, and copy data path. I don't remember by heart to see that. Yeah, it's still. I can do this as many times as I want because I'll just redelete the driver, create again. Prop, okay. Wouldn't be anything else here. No, I think it's exactly this I'm gonna revise anyways. Control V, fit stance. Okay. Yeah, I remember it was that. So Python research, slow Python expression. Okay, maybe this new version of Blender recognized that this is a slow thing, and therefore this is something that requires, don't know why it is recognized slow, but yeah, this is not what is, just in case, this is not what is lagging. Yeah, nothing to do with this. So that means that if I go now to a rig UI, which I don't know exactly how to create it, but right now, so I can't benefit from it directly in a generated rig UI from this, but I know that I can access the custom properties from, yeah, item. Probably want this pinned as well. So it was in item. So here we need this, and so see, we already see a difference. Yeah, so what this doing is that I can still pose. There's no a delay here. Of course, I need to change the maximum. So that means that the rest position, I can reset it. Yeah, I reset it, but it doesn't reset the transform, right? The transform that this suffer is already here. So, of course, we don't need to click the bone to change. So this is why I need the rig UI, which is better, right? So even if we can pin this, is not, we need to select the bone, right? Otherwise it will vanish. Yeah, it will have another bone, right? So now we got to go back to this bone, and we need to, so we're gonna just use the, just update here, right? So here we're gonna call fit stance. No, not this, is the, okay, we're gonna call this fit stances and fit stances, and then we're gonna change the target, and we're gonna control V this new property here, and that should do the trick. So now these are the calculated degrees or radians. I had to make manual conversions to find this. I don't want to remember the right now how to, I did this, was very annoying because the precision, the accuracy was dependent on the calculations inside Blender. There are different methods to do this, even inside Blender. It's very weird. And out in Google also there are some conversions. So I got some sort of approximation that I found okay, and then I just put that in the code. So essentially what we have is that these radians was equivalent to the, I don't even know how many degrees this is, but this is 0 degrees, of course. This is plus something. So this will be equivalent to 22 degrees, and this one to 82 degrees. And that will give the validated fit stance, which is the default is, right? It's not 0, is 1. And so here, so what, this is not over because the, now I have to reproduce this driver. So I'm just gonna copy driver, paste driver, and copy driver. They are slightly different, right? Paste driver. but the same driver applies to symmetrically. So it's just that this one is different because it gives a different constant value there. Yeah, a definitive value. Okay, so that will be then of course changed because of this. So this angle is changing. No, it's not. Oh no, this is just a limit, right? So it's changed the limits, and this forces that the beginning and end of this be elsewhere, right? I'm not sure if this one, yeah, I probably have already touched it. So on one hand, it augments here, and maybe it reduces there. I don't remember, but it doesn't matter. The fact is that this already works for the high heel fit stance. Now we're gonna do this. We're gonna find out the fit stance for the other bone that we need here. Unfortunately, this rig, as complicated as it sounds, is just the torso, master torso, that we need to leverage. Yeah, we could make some other tweaks in other bones, but who wants these drivers everywhere? No, just want a few, just on the essentials, and the essentials are this, and I believe the torso should be good. Another way to do this, of course, but I think that will be very annoying because it's not a rest pose. It'll be by pose assets. I don't think this is a good case of pose assets. High heel stance with pose asset. This will be, because then every time you reset the pose, the rest pose, you lose the high heel. So it's feasible, but it doesn't sound very smart. Yeah. So here let's get this one. So I need to. I'm still warming up in this, right? So yeah, I need to have both. So there, this bone has transformation. Okay, you see here, fit stance. So we're gonna can we? Yeah, we can. So we're gonna just copy the whole bone constraint. This copying of bone data will not, hopefully, will not disrupt my. I think the problems are with the bones and not with the data of the bones. Yeah, not this. So okay, so this I know, the copy driver. Let's see. Oh, there's a wrong target, of course. We need to retarget this, but I will probably maintain all this stuff. Yeah. This is from the rest position. So what we're doing here is that this is a constant transform. So this is a very special technique that I found. We can add a constant transform. So don't touch here. It's all set to 0. Doesn't matter. Nothing changes and nothing is changing. But then on the map to the owner bone, this is for the target bone of the bone constraint. So it will intake data from the target bone. There's gonna change this to, first gonna change this, and wait, yeah, this is completely useless, but we'll still need one for making this to work. So what we want is just that we need just to add this value here. So now that I have this, we'll add this value to the y-axis of this bone, so it will go up. Constant transform, right? It's like it's changing its rest pose towards this. It's additive in this case. It's not a replace, so the bone will still be free to move. So now we just need to get the influence of this thing. Yeah, paste driver, edit driver. Here we're gonna change again this fit stances. I don't know. This is useless because there's no. We're gonna change here to armature Dorothy, and here we're gonna just. I think it's prop. and this is feet stance, and that seems to have straightened the legs. And so that means that if I toggle now the property, there we go. Of course, the character is not changing the stance because, but see, the new armature is moving. So this will be the full high heel stance. This doesn't change the spine though. It could be interesting, but it's it leverages all the body. There's a little problem there. Some bones are not up because of the other bones are from other. Yeah. So this doesn't leverage the center of gravity. It's not leveraging the hands neither. I'd say it could lever a lot of things, right? If I leverage the center of gravity, that will be a problem. They will leverage the feet, so I cannot. But possibly I can leverage other things. But that seems okayish enough to work with for now. All right, so this is very good. We got some progress here. It's very tricky. The drivers in Blender is very annoying to handle, but they cannot be symmetrized straight like bound constraints. It's very annoying. So we got one done, and this one is probably it's the last. It's not necessarily the most complicated one, but this setup it's quite complicated. Yeah. So this is good that we solved this. It's the nothing truly remains here for the feet, if I'm not. Yeah, maybe the helper, but this will do later. Okay. Let's see what other controls we need. Yes, I remember we need some controllers. We need these ones here. Main hands and main feet. These are parented to master COG, center of gravity. Yeah, they are both parent to the master of center of gravity. And they are, what they do, they are responsible for, the idea of this is to be able to move the they are some sort of how do you say, with them we can compose certain things like this. So this is the value of them. It's more for composed. Here this won't work with the torso. Well, we can do, right? The feet are moving, but the idea here, yeah, you could pick this and then each foot, but this is not necessarily the best thing to be doing. So we can also pick this and the hip. Yeah, then we can, because here there's no hip motion, so this is a little problem, but then we need just to pick the right bone. I don't see it here, so it's messy, but we're gonna reproduce this rig here. I think it's useful. Let's go back to the, I need to soundtrack here. Okay, sorry. Let's go back here. Okay, so we're gonna, very simple parenting relations, but that will help a lot in some spontaneous aspects of posing, right? This is very personal. I guess this took me a lot of time to figure out that, oh, this is actually good. We can use this, right? Okay, so yeah, new rig is too many bones here. We just need the mains. Master skeleton, yeah, here. No, it's actually Oh, it just vanished. Okay, here. Okay, it's in there. So I'm gonna, let's see what they are. So where they decide I decide to post them. It's not really relevant. They seem to be stacking in the same. Yeah, they're stacking the same position and stacking in the middle of no, in the same height of the master torso, right? So we're gonna do something like that. New skeleton, yeah, armature on top. Don't get confused. So basically, this is the active armature object. This is the passive armature object. So X Dorothy is the old one. Right, this will be a bit easier now to recognize the old one, right? So let's get the new one. We're gonna pick. I'm gonna do different. No, I'll do the same thing. So I'm gonna pick this pose here, yeah, which is in the height of the command connector bone. We're gonna... Actually, I picked the wrong... Ah, hard to... This is why I hate this bone type. Yeah, this bone type is... Oh no, I need to be on edit mode, right? Yeah, I still hate this bone type. Okay, all again. Hiding bones. Just want this freaking joint here. Okay, we're gonna add a bone. I've added a bone to this layer here. Wrong layer. Gonna move this select new bone to masters, and also Shift M to controllers. And now we can yeah, reduce the size of it. It will not be a big bone. Something like that is good enough. Then we're gonna Shift D. So this one will be the top. So main hands, yeah, I think. And this main feet. And so control those modes. So we're gonna now for each one of them we're going to change their color. So I'm using, yeah, I can use this color fine. I think it's the same color of these ones. Yeah, same color here. But we're gonna copy their things here. So this one here. Then we're gonna control I've made this shortcut. Control Shift. No. Wait, why it's not working? Copy, Control Shift, Control V. Okay. Okay, I don't know. So, oh, because it's invalidated. Okay, here we go. There's a shortcut that, okay, Shift Control V, Shift Control V, Shift Control V, and Shift Control V, Shift Control V. Okay, there we go. And then maybe we... Now the new one is here. We're gonna, because its size is different, so we're gonna give some value here. Yeah, something like that is good. And now then we're gonna do the same here. The main fit, shift control V, shift control V, shift control V, shift control V. Then here we are going to do the same, -3, I guess. Was that? Yes. So that means that we also need to parent. So they don't do nothing, right? They could probably go forward. No, they might be quite... Yeah, they are a bit hard to spot here. But for now, this is okay. We're gonna handle that. Okay, maybe 0.5. And okay, maybe we're gonna do... because I think I'm confused here because it is... Both are facing the same direction, right? Let's see how I've made the other rig. So clear up some ideas here. So this one is facing up. The main fit is also facing up. So yeah. I'm not sure if I have an illusion of... But anyways, yeah, let's leave it 3 and that's it. Now parent. Oh, I don't know if it is this parent or if it is this parent. I think it's this parent. We'll have to check. Main fit, yeah, it's is this one. So these ones we parent to this. It will symmetrize anyway. So here we're gonna already take advantage. Need apparently to change the colors on pose mode. Now on edit mode, otherwise they don't work. And so now we got this to, again, the main hands, Control P, keep offset, and then these two, they get parent to the center, master center of gravity. So they don't go in the flow of the torso. They are different. And they have some usefulness of multi-selection. So they... What happened here? Okay, wrong parenting apparently. Now, yes. All right. Next. Wrong colors of this. Ah, there's this thing, bone color. Okay, there's... Sometimes I got confused with this default color, right? I'm gonna get everything to default color. I'm not familiar with the idea of having them different on edit mode and pose mode. It should be useful for something, but for me it's just confusing for now. I can't see a fine use at the moment. Oh yes, oh yes, maybe for left and right colors. Yeah, sometimes we lack colors, right? Yes, 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 yes. So like makes sense, yeah. Should be useful. We're gonna think of that. Need to investigate more rigs to check some, but this sounds good idea. So let's get next again. Let's see. Um, so masters. Ah, there's gizmos here. Yeah, good thing. It's hell about time. There, I see them. Not gizmos again. The custom shapes. Let's also use these colors and Control Shift V, 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 Control Shift V. That's it. Making sure that we are in the correct armature, symmetrize. The color doesn't get symmetrized, so we're going to do this right. Okay, we don't see the skeleton, but it is doing its job. Yeah, these are already locked, so I don't wrongly manipulate them. We could have some limit rotation for this. Possibly the same... not gonna address this now, but good thing to mention in my big list here of tasks. Let's get here foot rig. Yeah, let's say, yeah, foot rig in general. So here we're gonna get like stuff in the foot rig is like the limit to the rotation foot roll bone. It's a good easy thing, but if good to remember. There are so many things here, old stuff that I haven't solved. Some things here are about modeling and costumes, and even some UV texturing rework and additional costumes that I'm making for the character. But even reports, I'm redoing this list so I clean up a lot of stuff here to make it clear. It's very good to have something like this on larger projects like this. Blender has this, is the Shift F12, right? The info, no, the text editor. So it doesn't need to be a script, even though it has script color. We're just not gonna run it, right? Anyways, yes, continue here. We need... Now, let's see. I'm trying to... I don't want to go for the head because... Oh yeah, the pin. I just remember, yeah. The pinning systems, which has already... It's just for the joints of elbows and knees. So we're gonna fix this. It's very simple rig here. Very simple setup and very useful. Although the system is very bad in Blender. It's very stupid. Like it's property to keyframe, right? It's horrible, but it's Stone Age, right? Neolithic age, yeah, Stone Age, Bronze Age, so we can survive this, but it's not ideal. So what we want here is that we want this spinning. Yeah, they are here, and I need the tweakers because they're the tweakers which will get pinned, and then there's custom properties, so still need that freaking original stuff. There are not too many, so here already goes 4 of them, of those properties. So I'm gonna create a pinning. Yeah, I'll use this color. It's a mechanism color, but what are pin joints? And yeah, that's it. Got it selected, got it visible. And from there, we're gonna select some bone of the... Yeah, we need to find the control skeleton. Yeah, so use this joint here. We're gonna go back to the pin here, very important. So when we add a... Well, you know what? We're gonna just duplicate here. We're gonna duplicate this bone here, but we're gonna duplicate it in the... Yeah, it doesn't matter. It will still be in the... See, we're gonna Shift Alt X, select mirror extend. We're gonna click this to... No, they are here. Okay, we've duplicated them immediately somewhere else. So this will be larger. And we are going to change their color here. Use this one here. Very screaming color here. So we're gonna Ctrl F2B bones. So find replace. So yeah, so start tweak pin, and then we gonna do strip characters. Hold Shift. Okay, there we go. These ones, I think they are parent to the root bone. Strangely, they are parent to the... Yeah, so probably a wrong parenting, but no reason for that is... But yeah, the root bone would be better because in this case, the root bone is like... we don't want the pinning to be affected. The pinning is really strong, so you don't want... It's a higher hierarchy stuff. And so it's so important that there are some things, let's say, mechanism artifacts that can occur, like in certain cases that you start moving the body and then the joint is pinned, but the hand starts moving on its own. So this is bad, right? So this is why the hand must be pinned also. It's pinned by default anyways, I think. Maybe there's some mesh that moves there, but I think it's not the case. So could be here too. I had to figure this out. So we need to pin this. You'll see the bone constraint is actually a full... It's very rigid, so it's a full copy transforms, right? Pose space, could be word space, so a full copy transform. So you're gonna... Very simple, but this copy transforms allow to prevent the weird rotations of the mesh. So they can really pin the joint in a more significant way. Pinning the location is not sufficient depending on what you're trying to do. This pinning of the joint on my rig is not for the basic thing of the foot or the hand. It's for the pinning of the elbow from the torso, from the spine, from the hip. This is something I think that even Rigify add-on, Rigify generated rig doesn't have by default. Maybe it has, and I haven't checked. Yeah, maybe it has. It should have. It's not difficult. It's just, but I haven't spotted it in my own. So, anyway, so here we're gonna do the, yeah, we're gonna do the pinning. Yeah, so we're gonna get this and copy transforms, pose space. So nothing mysterious here, except that we need to use that freaking copy driver here. It's gonna I think I would remember what is need to do here, but it's a custom property. No, it's not what I'm doing. I need a custom property, right? So it's a pinning one. We'll check. I'm gonna create pin elbow, pin, yeah, left, right, left. So for these custom properties names, apparently they cannot have symbols. It's dangerous. They are code, they are strings, that special strings. Apparently this will cause problems. So pin, elbow, left, certain symbols, right? So what is it? Default 0, 0, yeah, so it's nothing. Left elbow pinning, right? So that's just like this. The description can be anything, and library override. Oh, well, okay, so that means that as we go here, we're gonna just add 4, yeah, just adding stuff here. Can we copy, duplicate? No, we can't. So we're just gonna edit here. So we're gonna call it pin elbow. No, knee left. Yeah, I think uppercase here won't cause problems. So we're gonna do this. Yeah, whatever. Default value 0. Okay, so let's see why I skipped that one. The description is not necessary, but it's cool. Okay, library overrideable. Yeah, just double checking. I have a memory to remember this in the end. I might not remember myself because it's something relatively new to me. Okay, we got this, so now we just need to reset here. Fit stance also reset. Now we're gonna leave it to 0 now because we are rigging, right? So we don't want the fit stance to arise, right? So we don't want this on pose mode, right? It doesn't affect rest position, it's just pose position. So we're gonna get here to the, all right, gonna copy driver, copy as new driver. copy as new driver indeed. Then we're gonna get the new armature, this one. We're gonna need the bone constraints, and we're gonna paste driver. There we go. And yeah, so basically if we can already test it. So pinning. Yeah, so have, let's say, post this bone here, and let's change the custom pin knee left. Oh, maybe I copied the wrong one. Yeah, this elbow goes first, so it's just wrong here. Seems slow scrolling. I remember this being faster. I'm not sure why this is slow here. Maybe there's some... Anyways, we can... And so the thing here is that this will pin, of course, the skeleton there. See? This can also have... Yeah, we can... I wouldn't use for that because I have already a setup for this in the other rig. But it can do... Very interesting thing. It can do this. Right? The knees are pinned, but it's super annoying, right? So you're gonna get this stuff here. There are two bones here actually. So here it is a wrong driver. We're gonna copy. Yeah, you can copy it from here, right? So you're gonna pin knee left. So copy as new driver. Paste driver. Let's see what this driver looks like. It's just a property, single property. Yeah, nothing to see here. So basically we got this, and then we get this, and then we got pin knee left, and there he goes. And you can partially pin, which makes the bone sort of free, but it's kind of bizarre. But yeah, and so. You need to be pinned totally. There we go. So even you see even the center of gravity cannot move the pinning. That can be very useful, I imagine. But we can also pause, right? Yeah, so I believe that can be useful. So anyways, we got this. Now we can reset this stuff. And we need, of course, to do this for the others. Copy as new driver, but then we're gonna reset the pose. We're gonna... The bone already exists. Yeah, it exists, but we need to symmetrize this one because it got bone constraint. We're gonna move in here. We got the near right. We're gonna paste driver, and I'm not gonna test because I'm confident now. Well, I'll test in the end. Then here, gonna... This is the new armature, so I need to duplicate, make this, select the mirror thing. Yeah, same stuff here. Change their colors. Then we're going to parent them to the root bone, and then we're going to armature. Yes, we're gonna add a yeah, this is gonna get confusing here. Let's hide this stuff. So you got this on the tweaker, copy transforms, replace, pole space, influence, let's leave like this, let's symmetrize. And now we just need need the drivers, and we need these custom shapes are getting on my head already. So let's fix these pinners. I think they are the same size. That says the data matches. Yeah, no, they don't really match, but it's the same idea. So I'll try this one, right? Maybe this one. We'll see what works better. Then we got to... Yeah, so I need to select the pin knee, then this, and then we're gonna do a... Well, actually, gonna select the pin knee here, and then here, then also shift select, no, shift alt, left click, pin elbow, shift alt X. Now I got all the 4, no, extend, I got all the 4, yes. Then we're gonna, oh, it means that probably some stuff didn't symmetrize. Then we shift click this, and here we're gonna Control Shift V, 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 Control Shift V. There we go. And so now you can hide this, hide everything here. Now actually, okay, so this seems to be on the controllers, but I don't think I want this in the main controllers. Yeah, we need this. Okay, so first let's move it to the control, then Shift M to the control pin joints. Only them here. Root. Yeah, this all seems fine. Let's see if not anything wrong here. No, nothing wrong here. Then we got their size seems correct here. Yes, they can be used to rotate the knee, the pin knee on demand. So this will leave their rotations, even their scale, will leave their transforms free. But in principle, it's just moving here. Oh yeah, we might need to rotate them on certain cases. Actually, they override the rotations of the joints. It can be useful. Okay, so then now this is the old armature. The tweakers, let's see. Yeah, then we have to still test the... Yeah, so I need the drivers, and for this we need the... Here, so we're gonna get this custom properties. So it's... Yeah, actually it could have been here, but I need to select the bone anyways. So pin elbow left, yeah, copy as new driver. Bound constraints, paste driver. Pin elbow right, copy as new driver. You can make shortcut for this too, I guess. Paste driver. And now let's check. Yeah, they all seem to be working. Perfect. So this is, yeah, mechanical things can be perfect. Well, maybe not. Perfect in their level, in their idealization, that is. Doesn't mean that there wouldn't be better methods, better techniques, right, in many sense. So no, not even mechanical rigging is not perfect. It's just a concept. So it is working and it's clean, at least that, yeah. It's very, very simple to do, but no, very few tutorials. I just found one tutorial out there that mentions this technique. That's where I learned from. Okay, so now that the pinning systems, even the custom properties are solved, for the whole body principle. Oh, I haven't shown you. Yeah, I have new setup here that I've mentioned last time, and that works for pinning the tip of the fingers. This is the craziest thing that I've made experimentally, and it works in a custom rig like that with caveats, but it works. So basically, you see this little bone here, it's very crazy. It's a fingertip spinner. So basically, when I get here the hand, okay, we won't see this in the, unfortunately, with the armature, but you'll see the here. So you see the behavior, nothing. Okay, so you have auto I key here. We need to be careful that the auto I key length don't extrapolate to secret bones. We can find them here, but that extrapolate into the connection with this bone here is the last in the I key chain, and now actually the first in the F key chain of all these bones. So they are connected, and this is left unparented. However, it got a setup of very weird bone constraints here. It's like a mimic of copy transform that's splitting the functionalities of rotation and location and rotation, and this allows some more variations, more precision sometimes. And this is what we need, especially for this case. So this is very simple. It's just word space stuff or pose space, replace stuff. So, and this is copy rotation. This is very tricky. There are no rig here that I know that in Blender might use it. Using the first time without problem the target local with parent. So what it does is basically, you see this behavior. Now check this behavior by just shift clicking and leave around, and yeah, and we can do G R even with the rotation. I have this is because this is using auto I key, but this is the tricky part. I cannot, yeah, if by accident I pick a auto I key length that goes on the other mini bones, there are ways to protect that, but it's more bones. I'm gonna figure out what to do, but the fact is that yeah, see, I'm grabbing some bones, so this is forbidden. I can fix it. I just have to reset. Then let's change this bones color because they are, we need to find them easily, right? So we're gonna give them a very specific color, this color here. So these bones, they cannot be we cannot move them to the auto I key because they contain bone constraints, I think. Yeah, we have this automation here, right? Typical automation. We can do this with the auto I key option because, and even with this one, because the bone constraint is not this one. it is this one. The one that it's like the parent, right, of this one. So this one doesn't have bond constraint, nor this one. So probably here we won't have problems then. Here I have to verify. So I'm moving, let's move the, yeah, let's reset everything. Okay, hold on. And this automation works whichever we grab here. This is crazy. Like we can be this one. It could be, I think this one. Yeah, it could be this one. Let's augment the auto key. Okay, so the auto key length. Okay, so here I have an auto key length of 4, so this is dangerous for the thumb. So you see I'm moving this bone, but it's not bone constrained, so it shouldn't create any. Yeah, the problem happens if I pick, for example, this second phalanx, and now I'm rotating a bone constrained bone with auto key option. This one. And now if I try to manipulate through the I key, no, it's not here. If I try to do this thing, well, I don't see any problem. Okay, here. Okay. So you see what this madness here? This is just happening because I shouldn't have moved. I not only moved. I did not only move this bone. I moved also this bone, which is the continuation here. So that means let's also change this bone's color here. I haven't found in this rig yet how to change what to do with the feet, if this could be, because I don't have, yeah, I have tip of the toes, so yes, we could already do the same thing here. I think it will function similarly. So this is what I cannot do. The problem is that if I unconnect these parents here, let's see, this will break the functionality, and then this spinning will not happen anymore. So this is why this is a problem. Well, let's just do some Control Z here. So this is why this needs to be done this way. Okay, I think they are parented connected. Yes. So let's check here. I'm moving everything, all right? Or at least the mini one there. Let's see now. Let's grab everything now. So see, moving that bone, this bone. Well, you see, strangely, right now, I'm not able to replicate the behavior. But yeah, something goes wrong when you pose this bone. So the only way you pose this bone is locked. Wait. Even if you lock it, I found it is not. Okay, it's because it is locked. Even if I locked, I tried already with here, everything, it doesn't prevent the auto I key to manipulate it. It's like it has some ghost values, so it's very dangerous. We cannot block this disruption of the pose. So you need to be very careful whenever posing the auto I key. And if accidentally we change, then we just have to reset. Maybe, yeah, it's a rotation reset, right? Because its location, it's fixed anyway. So here, yeah, if I rotate this bone, probably we'll have some problems as well. I'm not seeing. But anyways, I'm not exactly sure, but this bone is bone constraint and this bone is bone constraint. It's just this typical copy rotation on a lower influence that which leaves. So this bone doesn't need to be, so it's bone constraint to this one. So this does this. So you can stack the automation even with, this is super cool because you can, even with an auto I key option used for the fingertips, the phalanx, right? See, you can do that. You can then augment the exchange. You can exclude the metacarpal. We can bend in the opposite direction. We can do this with multiple fingers. And then, of course, we can pin or not pin. So there's no Ikey bone constraint involved in that, in those pinnings. So I could do very easily dispose, right? Well, not so. They don't have the limit stuff here yet. But this is very cool. I like this. Yeah, one finger less here to care about. But you see, you have this cool automation here, and it doesn't break the rig unless we, as explained, we shouldn't be posing these things, right? So far I haven't found a way to lock those things forever, but I-key locks doesn't work, lock transform doesn't work, nothing works. It's just that if you grab the auto I-key, it's overwhelming, it passes through, it retains the transform, so it's breaks the stuff. All right, we should just make sure perhaps that these bones, they never keyframe. Yeah, they shouldn't in 3D animation, right? So this setup is like never say ultimate, right? This is bullshit, but this is how you say in my culture here in Brazil, you say, there's an expression, história para boi dormir. It's a story for the gado. The gado, no, the gado is the bovines, the animals, right? The story for cows and how do you call it? Bulls, not bulls. Yeah, you know, the other ones for castrated bulls. So for them to sleep. Story for bovines to sleep. So it's like very boring stories. If you this guy talking bullshit again about trying to impress people, the good people shouldn't get impressed by bullshit like that, right? So marketing, or worse than marketing is gonna be cool, but like the imperialism narratives, right, that are sold, it's not about countries also imperative, it's probably something that is human. Okay, so but especially in corrupted societies, right? So let's get to the next step here that we can probably do here. Yeah, so this I didn't exist in the old rig, right? So this is good here, good stuff. So by the way, this is just connected, so all this is just connected bones here. The only no bone constraint, the only bone constraint is here in this unparented bone, very specific. So it's like the deformed hand is just, yeah, it's just dependent on these bones here, this one of the phalanx of the fingers, right? So it's on a block of the rig, right? And then they are just parented, or this one is bone constraint to the tweak hand, right? But the twig hand, yeah, it's like it carries them through this, not parenting relation, but through this, right? But because this, we are using this target unique condition to use this, because if this will usually destroy the rig, because if you pose, it will cause double transforms, stacking transforms everywhere. Like you pose this and then the hand starts to move. Even it's, yeah, so this is very dangerous. I think this is working now because this bone has no parent. And I'm not even sure it totally would work, but so far I haven't seen that problem. So it doesn't seem to be holding. Why does this? Oh, I've got a problem here. No, the hands are pinned. This is not a problem. The foot are, yeah, this is regular. It's just a regular industrial map. So it's just as this. Okay, let's continue, folks. The regular industrial map is a prank, gym prank from Anatoly, famous guy, right? I think the guy is Ukrainian, but a good guy. Nothing against Ukraine, except that it's very sad what's happening there. It's horrible. It's a tragedy, social tragedies. If they, because it's very difficult. They suffered in history the Holodomor, and this I had to research to really understand what does Stalin creating a massive, right? So Soviet regime in Soviet Union, right? Creating, not only they suffered the massacres, ethnic, religious, fanatics, right? From the Nazis, right? From the West side, or at least the fascism, the Nazism, right? But they were also these, yeah, they were, as everywhere there would be traitors, so they allied with the Nazis in Ukraine also to fight against. But this happens in every country, but it happened in Ukraine. So they were attacked by the Nazis. They were attacked by a bit like Poland, I guess. So very difficult, right? Because then they got, this is my opinion, I'm not an expert, but this is how trying to understand the psyche. It's not that, so they can't trust the Russians, because the Russians are the ancient, what was left of the Soviet Union, and they can't trust the Germany, United European Union, right? And then you have this crazy guy that decides for radically one side that wants to kill everyone, rather create a war against a critical divergence with the rest. And they were, not that all of them, right? But like you have this double trauma. It's very, very tough from both sides, and the Ukrainians look at exactly in that, right? It's horrible, and yeah. Anyways, the next step, yeah. So there's too many stuff here, but we're getting close to, yeah. The face rigging will be the like if we reach the face rigging, that this will be like very close to. Have some pose. No, this is the mesh that is slightly changing. Okay. not the bones. All right, next bones to fix on the body. I'm trying to remember, right? Yeah, there's the automation for the mechanism rig. The mechanism skeleton, actually. Besides the deformed skeleton, then we have helper bones and helper systems everywhere. That is a helper rig is the last thing for the body that I want to touch because it's very annoying. But I think I'm starting to reach that point. Yeah, there's nothing else. Sorry, it's late here. I'm about to conclude the stream, so let's see. Anything else I can achieve? Okay, this is for the face. Okay, helper. Okay, I have the helper. I might be forgetting just something. Map A, yeah, it's just that. And I have some mechanism shoulder, but this is like also helper bone. Mechanism boob, this is also breast leverage, is helper. So you see, whatever is left is just secondary. What are these ones? Yeah, this is the main mechanism. Hip, what is this for? Yeah, just a bone for the old setup. I have this different. What are these? Okay, and these are cloth costume bones, right? And then there's the head things. Yeah, the head and the face I'll address later after the body is completed, right? So I think the best thing here for me to approach just before I want to fix the bendy bones. Yeah, we have bendy bones to address on the deformed skeleton. So I'm gonna make this. Yeah, we're gonna reproduce the bendy bone setup. So you see, no bone constraint because it's the the mechanism skeleton which holds the stretch too, so that works. As long as they don't get displaced, they won't get displaced because we don't pose the deform, so we just need to. However, I've been having some trouble with this idea of with the concept here. The bendiness is too much on the joint because it bends from the tail and bends from the head, both bendy bones. This creates some sort of exaggerated bending on the joint, and I'm not sure this will be the best solution here. So we need to address here. Okay, so this is the old rig. We're just gonna. Okay, so there is. Okay, so you see I left automatic because I was trying to solve this setup. Yeah, it had a tweaker. It had a handle before, but we could use a tweaker. Why the handle? Yeah, this handle is necessary for an automation. This is very intriguing solution. So this we need to create these handles here. They are everywhere. I think there's a handle wrist as well. Yeah, we have. So I need to create these handles here. Looks like that I didn't conclude the rig for the legs. That's fine. So let's see. Usually these handles, I made them exactly on the same on the same bone collection of the deform skeleton, it's easier to find them. They are related. All right, so we need to address here. We are gonna get the deformed skeleton, selecting the correct one. All right, for the correct armature, gonna go on edit mode. We're gonna create the handle. So the handle will be aligned with this I say I forgot a name. The names are not correct. So we're gonna change this to some easy findable value here, 0.01. The role, we're gonna just yeah, align it totally with, actually, no, it's the other. So just gonna copy some values here. Yeah, everything basically. Control Shift V. Control Shift V, Control Shift V. Now this will not copy these values here. Okay, whatever. I need to go back. Okay, this probably straight. I see it's straight right here. Nothing seems relevant. So here these values. Yeah, we have this easing. This maybe can help the automatic. Here we don't copy. Absolute. Here we don't do anything. This we're gonna copy though, and then not sure. Here this for some bone constraints, I think. Some parent bones. If you scale them, it can gradually change the segments scale. It's interesting, but I don't remember how to do this right now. It's something about copy scale bone constraint on a tweaker or on a parent of a tweaker, something like that. Well, I mean the tweaker should have. We need to transfer this. There's a pathway of bone constraint that needs to reach the bendy bone. Then this will work. Then we might need for that some copy scale bone constraints on some controller bone, stuff like that. Okay, so we don't have this handle, right? Just created one, so we need to create more of this handle here. Bone collections appear here. Okay, they are here, and so we're gonna call this handle upper arm, I think. Yeah, we can. It's like the joint, right? But okay, handle upper arm, handle elbow, handle wrist. Well, I don't have a handle for the shoulder, so we're gonna handle shoulder. So I have something. Okay, so then we're gonna Shift D, gonna snap it to that position. Then we're gonna align it here. Then we're gonna pick the smaller ones, as you might have figured out. Here we're gonna, yeah, I'm gonna still align with the base because it's a bendy bone, right? So it's very important that it maintains its alignment. So this is why we need to use this one actually. So it is actually just making sure. Okay. I don't need the controllers. Now we need to do the same here. Control Shift V. This is my personal shortcut for this. These are default, I guess. So here, automatic, it's default. Here I'm not gonna touch this. And here we're gonna make our own targets. So it's absolute in this case. Looks like that we didn't. I don't know, it wasn't copied. Okay, now we got it. Okay, so we're gonna copy this one. So this is wrist left. This is elbow left. So here, yeah, we're gonna automatic. So it's like it ignores. It will use it whatever it is parented to, or unless it is connected parenting. We don't have a connected parenting here. So this is like neutral. It does nothing. Same as here. So in this way, I will try to prevent some weird behaviors. Okay, here. And this one also needs this one in the... well, no, it's also automatic. So this one is just for the end here. Also, this one, we... here is a bit strange because these bones are not aligned, right? So we can try to check. Yeah, this was aligned with the previous. Yeah, so a little annoying thing, but okay. This we have to have two tweakers here to mesh the same. Oh, actually, no. This is what I'm talking about. There's automatic here, so this doesn't matter. So we're gonna just align this with the deformed shoulder. We're gonna add this number 4 anyways. And then we're gonna get this copied. Control Shift V. This is curved, maybe for the different setup. Yeah, I don't know, not sure. Absolute, yeah, there's same name here. It needs to be in the same armature. We don't need to. Maybe. Oh yeah, I was editing the wrong one. Okay, on the old armature. Okay, so this is working. Right, this will do this. And so, okay, now we need to... the parents of these bones, I think they are just parent to the tweakers or to the mechanism. I can easily check here. The tweaker, okay, it's the tweakers because... yeah, okay, it's... because the tweakers are, yeah, they are higher hierarchy than the mechanism, so this it's better parenting for, because then is the tweakers that we can twist and do this stuff, right? So what we need to do here is select the new armature. We're gonna hide some stuff here. The old rig, we just want the tweakers here and the deformed skeleton. Yeah, the mechanism we don't need right now. So we're gonna pick this and here and control keep offset. Very simple stuff. Keep offset, and here this and this and keep offset. Then we need to change the colors of... I don't use for this handle bones, I don't use custom shapes because they stay in the hidden, right? And so unless there's a real reason to on edit mode, or no, not on edit, to be looking at them at custom shapes, on pose mode only. That is not necessary to waste time with that, in my opinion. Okay, so I need the color, right? Bone colors default. So I use this one usually for these tweakers. The hand has the same color, but the hand is because it's a deformed, major deformed bone on a very specific location. Also, it looks like that we don't have. I don't have deformed skeleton for the fingers. Time to fix that actually. Very simple thing here. So we're gonna duplicate this one, that's symmetrizing with on this thing. So Shift D, we're gonna scale them, B-bone scale them down, and then we're going to Control F2. So bones already is here, so we're gonna, instead of control, we're gonna def 4 and strip characters. It will automatically reset. So this should be phalanx. This is phalanx 01. Yeah, I forgot also to change their colors. Yeah, selected on both sides. Okay, then we got to have this this one. All right, then just some trick here. So I want these metacarpals to be Shift Control X on extend. This will select both sides. And now Shift Alt X my select mirror operator. This is a personal shortcut. And here we gonna change here to this other color variation. So here, and now this is annoying, but at least we have this. We need to change this parenting here. So just parent offset to the control rig. We could make additional automations. You see, I don't even bother here having a mechanism skeleton for the fingers and phalanx for the, but it would be the correct thing if I had any utility for that. Currently, I've solved that. The only utility that I have with these tweak fingers, which I've seen on other rigs, I think Rigify has it. Yeah, many other rigs have it. So this, yeah, this is double checking here. So this is annoying. Parenting is 1 by 1, but it's like a full copy transforms bone constraint. Since we are not changing, transforming these bones, we don't need to do anything else to them. They will not offset. Are these done? Yeah, these are done. And this has parented the other side. The advantage of having done this before I set up the limit I key for the thing is that I don't need to reset some data here, bone data, so I can just, because I haven't started doing this inverse kinematics options panel for the control skeleton, this one in blue, but it's time consuming, but it's interesting. So this is something I have to do. Okay, so this looks like that unfortunately these bones were not transferred to the correct color, and no, Shift G, color, extend, right? Then Shift Alt X, extend. Yeah, both sides should be. Then Alt M, also custom to make sure moving the, so this will be skeleton, and then Shift M to the whole big deformation. Then all the Wait, that didn't happen. Okay, so let's try again. Give them deformation here. These control skeleton, these blue bones, they contain no bone constraints, so they are free to be posed with auto IQ option, which is so good for the fingers. Right, so this is the funny part, right? At least one funny part, right? Riggers often waste a lot of time, or they invest a lot of time, like myself did in research of rig system, better rig systems. And then there are sometimes some inbuilt features that they do all they are trying to do in very complicated ways, and then you have a setup that this solves this very simple, and then no one's seem to not it's not very popular. No, so it's like yeah. So just because someone said bluntly, auto IK option is bad, it's like not. Actually, no one showed really how this can be used. Very few people show how it can be used in combination with an advanced rig, with an advanced special rig for it. Yeah. So, anyways, okay. You see here, I'm not being reset. I'm not resetting because I forgot. Yeah, I need to reset that. These other bones. I've used the, but this is a super very special setup with this one of this one that I showed with this thing here. It's just because of this that I had this little problem, but otherwise. Okay, so pinning the bendy bones on the arm. Okay, we need. I haven't achieved this for the. In case you're curious, I've made a tutorial. What's that about custom arm rig? Yeah, it was. Yeah, see, that's it. That's it. I have made it. And then lately is a workshop, right? And then this workshop has I was doing for the arm, but I didn't do for the leg, so I don't have for the leg. So maybe I should note this. This will be very similar to the feet. Yeah, let's do it. It's actually the same thing. So we're just gonna reproduce. So okay, let's. I don't have reference here, so should work similarly. Then after, I'm gonna have to test if it's how the deforms. So this is a substitution of the bendy bone splines helper bones that go like you make a floating bendy bone, something like that in the middle of the joint around it, and then you get some. But that setup, it's cool. It helps indeed. It's a smoother helper bone, I call it helper setup, right? But it's really good for the simple joints, even the intermediate joints like the wrist, maybe the neck if we want, up neck and bottom neck, right? But where it connects with the chest, the thoracic cage, and where it connects to the head. But for the neck, I never tried. I have bendy bone here, anyways. But yeah, actually, we need to this. Yeah, we need to turn this into bendy bones. Yeah, we're gonna do this. It's on the deformed skeleton. Let's see if these bendy bones have nothing special. On edit mode would be better. Yeah, we see so there's curved. Yeah, so first we're gonna. All right, so nothing here, nothing here. Oh, this is interesting. Okay, so I don't remember that. So because these bones, they are parent to the mechanism to another, they cannot use the automatic. So they are using as handles different bones which already exist. So we can totally do this, but need to be careful because depending on the automations of the rigs, we might not be having the... Okay, so first of all, I think I need to rename some stuff here because... No, deform 2, deform 1, deform 2 skeleton. Oh, no, this is the wrong rig. Hold on. Okay, let's simplify stuff. Okay, so you have... Yeah, deform neck, so they said wrong naming, so let's just change this. This is because this is better to show in the... So this will be all def to def 2. I don't need that. 2 is for spine, and also we can even do something better here, like from top to bottom, or from... No, you try to follow the orientation of the bones, right? It's... So it's like the... Yeah, the depth shoulder also incorrect, so you need to fix these ones. Yeah, the hand is already fixed. We're gonna get this one. So this is depth 3. I think we got some wrong selection. No, it's all correct. Just that the names here was inactive already. Oh yeah, the fingers. Thumb 4. Now we already handled that. Yeah, I remembered because they are new. Phalanx 01. This is correct. Phalanx 002. Okay. Then what we could do is leave just... This will be very... Yeah, fortunately there are few bones here, but sometimes this is annoying. Like you try to find the... So I could be maybe... Yeah, this is super creepy, right? And this is even worse, I guess. So confusing, right? I think this... Yeah, this is the minimum thing. Or what about... No, this will change the... Yeah, this is like straighter. It's just one character. It's also one problem. So I'm gonna do this because this will create an ordering that is important, as long as we don't have the... They will bring this new hierarchy system for the... Oh yeah, then have the metacarpals. Yeah, so the problem is that I'm adding on just one side. Yeah. Yeah, let's try to fix both sides here. So instead of depth 4, we're gonna call depth 4 DE. Yeah. And the phalanx are different because the phalanx are... Well, will F for phalanx, whatever. They already have numbers, so that's an advantage. So that ideally, instead of... We should call like arm 001, arm 002, arm 002. It'll be the very confusing, right? But this will be the way to get this thing fastest way, right? So we're gonna call them this. So at least that would... Yeah, it will make things slightly less readable, slightly less readable, Now let's just fix this stuff here. This with a number and letter. I never did for bones, if I remember well. Yeah, hand. Yeah. So the at least here the the way to code this hard code. So this is depth 1, the head. So we could also, because we want to show the head as the first thing, because we can do this. Actually, because there are a lot of deformed bones for the head also that are not on the skeleton, right? The bone collection doesn't make it be listed differently. We need folders there, but everyone knows that, right? So here we could, yeah, unfortunately I'll have to do here. So we're gonna start from the hip, then we get the spine, then we got the chest, and then we got the neck. So at least there's one way to do it. Now for these ones, Ctrl F2, so diff 4, this is correct, but this will def 4 is the first one to start with def 4. Yes, just like the shoulders. Actually, this is not def 4. It is def to def 3A. All right. Shoulder, yeah, yes, that's right. So I decided the legs before the hands, yeah. Okay, then get this. And then we have this. Foot is already solved, but we need to add D. Is D? Yeah, we have. No, how? Yes, it's totally D. Yeah, hand is D. Okay, then metatarsals. Yeah, there's just here I could split into 4 metatarsals for each side to be anatomically accurate. I never rigged a foot with metatarsals, but Philo Vivero has made something about it. I found intriguing. Maybe this is very good. If some people love feet. It's not exactly my case, but I like human anatomy, so it's kind of interesting challenge. So I'll be building this later on, yeah. So not for now, it's just an idea. And this, so this will be like, yeah, these are in the same level, so I don't really care. Yeah, I should care about the idea that the thumb maybe should be first. So yeah, there is something relevant here. So there are also a lot of subdivisions here that needs to be taken into account. But you see, I'm simplified. So maybe for these characters, I should keep simple as that, right? We'll see. We'll see. Over time, I make up my mind. I probably want to this little challenge. Yeah, so there is this idea that we'd like perhaps to have the, because there is nothing. Yeah, so how I used to do is like one thumb, 2 index. Yeah, so something like this, right? It's crude, but it's actually a simple way to. I just forgot. So you see the metacarpal is like a phalanx in this. We're gonna symmetrize. So you're gonna get, instead of thumb, we're gonna get one thumb. Actually, what I'm doing is the thumb bones here. Because but then hold on. If I do this, I'll be splitting this hierarchy, or you have all the... Okay, will come all the metatarsals, then all the... Yeah, so this could be a little annoying for the phalanxes, at least. How to solve this? This is not for the control skeleton. It's useless for the control skeleton. It's only useful for the... because they don't hold wave paint vertex groups. Oh yeah, the phalanx, they already have this, right? So they don't need... So it's F for all phalanxes, right? Exactly. Yeah. So it's a difference. So it means that this will come first anyway, so... Thinking here. Yeah, I want the thumb to be the first. If we have a meta thumb. Okay, let's leave this like separate in the phalanx. Yeah, so we just need to add... Yeah, finally decided. No, it's a thumb. We're gonna thumb 1. No, it's 1 thumb. All right. I don't have the tests immediately for the vertex groups here, but that's fine. Don't forget to select mirror with extend, Control F2, B bones, and then not thumb, but actually index, and here done. Actually, it's instead of 1 index, actually it's 2 index. And then we got instead of mid, okay, middle, yeah, just to make sure there's nothing wrong here. So instead of middle, we got 3 middle. Was it correct? Yeah, it's already in both sides as well. And finally, for the ring, not a pinky for alien caravan, depends. It's semantic, I guess. Ring for ring. Yes. So this 4 is for the ordering of the fingers of the hand, right? Including the metacarpal. So the order they will appear. So there will be very, very well organized left side and right side until... Yeah, left, right, left, right, left, right. Then we got left, right. Then we get left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right, I guess. And then same for... And the phalanx is like left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right. left, right, left, right. Yeah, so it's like per finger, per entire finger structure, right? And this is better. Okay. Now the chest, yeah, so another things developed here, okay. So very small improvements, right, but good stuff, I believe. Then we got, it's a clean rig for some reason, at least for me, like, instead of, right, tackling old stuff, you get restart from scratch. It's like you get some degree of inspiration somehow. So here we don't have deformed bone for but we're gonna get sorry, bendy bone, but we're gonna turn this into a bendy bone nonetheless. So try to follow the, yeah, let's restart here. We don't need handles here. We need handles, but we need, yeah, so first thing, let's batch some stuff here, right? The first thing to batch is the curved thing here. Actually, the segments, let's give it 5. I think it's 5. It's usually so curved with, yeah, just to make sure. Copy to selected, copy to selected. All right. Now, the handles, we'll need to check here. This, yeah, I don't think there's anything different in those settings here. This needs to be checked on edit mode, the root stuff. Here, this one, so there doesn't seem to be anything special there. Yeah, so yeah, I leave these 5 segments. 5, let's see, 5, 5. Yeah, it's all 5, so we're gonna leave out 5. So first one, absolute, absolute, because they are just that, and that is chest and head. Okay, so very easy. And actually the deform, yeah, they use themselves as this. So this is my new skeleton. This is the old skeleton. Yeah, this old skeleton, new skeleton. So here we added the A here, so this head bone will be the first to appear. So oh yeah, we can get all this to for now, right? Maybe you have to change something. Absolute, absolute. All right, then we start pasting. The end is the head. Now you have some stuff here, so not sure those things will. Okay, let's do this again. And the head is not a bendy bone, although we can turn into a. No, it's the bendy bone of the head is different than the structure of the head. Yeah, it's no, we can't do that. Okay, let's just add those stuff. And all right, then for the start handle, it will be this one. Deform chest. Oh, this is correct, and this use the tail of the, yeah, okay. It's just like that. It's redundant because they are not parented, right? They cannot use automatic here. We're gonna use the what is it? Neck. It's not neck. It's the, yeah, it's the neck, and it's not the chest here. It's the spine, and this is the chest, and this is the hips. And the hips might be different. I don't have an example here, so maybe you have to have a special tweaker bone here for this one. So we're gonna, the spine will be the here, and it's automatic from the bottom. So, well, if we had that tweaker there, we could make some stuff interesting with the spine. So it's an intriguing proposition. There's nothing I can use here, so the all new bone here is developed in that below that, or this joint here. Yeah, I have some joints there, so maybe we can use a tangent. Let's see, what is this facing the wrong direction? Also, we need to hide this. This is the wrong bone, I guess. Okay, this is pointing down. I think this one won't work for the tangent, but this one. Now this is the hips. This is the exactly the hips, right? I probably need tangent, and we could use a mechanism. Although the mechanism is not a deformed bone. Yeah, we can use the. It's not this. It's this mechanism. So mechanism here. We can use this as a tweak. Yeah, as a handle. Yeah. It has this. Oh no, it's facing downward. We can't. Alright, so what I'm gonna do is that I'm gonna create a special tweaker because this needs to be done from the head, and the deformed bone is facing up because it needs to following the chain. Therefore, this joint seems to be inaccurate. Hips, chest, no, spine, neck, no, this is correct. Oh, this one is missing. Chest and head. I'm not sure this is ideal, but often we get some weird curvature, but that's this doesn't affect the rest position. We can tweak this a little with the. Let's check if you haven't done this already in the. No, there's nothing here, right? We could play with this, but this is a bit dangerous. This is very sensible. This one we can play a little more, but they are do essentially the same thing. Okay, so go back to the original here. And I want to not see everything, but just the deformed skeleton. So to solve that, we gonna make a tweaker, no, a handle, right? For some reason, it did not. Okay, don't want to symmetrize it. This here, we're gonna align it with this. We're gonna position it exactly there. And yeah, we could leave it there. So we're gonna call it coccyx. And just because, yeah. And we're gonna address. Yeah, I see why it is important, because then we can, at least visually, this. So we're gonna tangent this thing. We can now make some slight adjustments because it doesn't need to follow any specific rotation, and also it doesn't need to have this parent here. There's already parent to the mechanism hips, So what you're gonna do is that we're gonna just pick this parent and we're gonna parent it here. If we can possibly create a bone constraint to manipulate this bone here. Like, it could be relevant. I don't think there's nothing here that can manipulate it in a specific way, right? It's free to, right? It shouldn't be too much anyways. Yeah, it is actually. Yeah, not bad, not bad. Okay, so but it's not different, right? Than if it was automatic. Yeah, a little different. So there is attention, because it starts on their heads joint are in the same rest position, right? So it's something that can help some extra slight bending of this particular curvature there. Now this something wrong here. Ah, start hand. No, no, this is correct. Spine. Hips and chest. Probably I've posed something. No, no, hold on. We got some. I posed something wrongly, I guess. Probably posed a mechanism bone and that is offsetted the whole setup, right? Yeah, see, this doesn't wreak havoc, this stuff. Oops, what is that? Oh no, this. There's something dangerous here. I'm using auto IQ option, so maybe this is. I don't remember this. Is it? How this is happening? Okay, why this is happening is that some bone is going nuts. I think we've got some disconnections. Yeah, like okay, now they are rounding around. Then I think it's just the. Where is the problem? Oh yeah, I see the problem. There's some critical failure in the. Oh, there. So how this is happening is something about. This don't is not a bendy bone. Copy transforms. Oh, there's is this copy transforms thing. This was a setup that I've created to solve something, but now it is creating a little problem. It couldn't be because of that. No, I think it has nothing to do with the start. No, no, it has absolutely nothing to do with the start. It's really something that I've not seen properly before. Okay, yeah, okay, maybe I wasn't looking at the... I was just looking at the control skeleton. Maybe I wasn't seeing what was happening underneath. So yeah, it could break the rig a little, but we need to see with the deforms how bad that is. Of course, we don't want that to happen. So basically what's happening is that I still need... yeah, this bone, it's trying to... the mechanism bone is trying to find an in-between position, right? So it's... and at some point here, if we... there's a specific pose where it goes nuts. I think it's something about the extrapolation of the spine, the wrong extrapolation of the auto I key. Maybe, yeah, let's see. Mechanism. And yeah, also this deform, so you can see if the mechanism at any point gets offset from the deform. No, I think the problem is not... don't need the deformed skeleton. Okay, so far I'm not extrapolating 4. Now this will be the wrong thing to do. Oh yeah, 4. And 4, this is the breaking stuff we can't use. And as soon as I go to 5, then I assess the whole thing. Then I have the... yeah. So yeah, so there is this dangerous posing. So to prevent this, there is another technique. Maybe I'll have to do this anyway. So I need to create an extra control just to prevent this particular posing here that will disrupt everything. Yeah, it should be forbidden, but I cannot lock this thing, so I need to never pose the spine with the wrong mount. So it's either until here or beyond 2. Yeah, there. And it's the limit. Same here. It's either 2 here, or whatever it reaches here, or the full hip sway, or here is wrong and then it reaches there, and that is correct. And then we can play with that with the cool stuff of this setup, of course, is that we can get, for example, the foot, for example, this one, and then we can select maybe the shin. And with auto IQ option, then we can push the... well, you'll see better with the whole character. Let's swap to the... other rig, so it will be like this. We get, for example, this bone, then let's say need the control skeleton, grab... where's the... things got a little broken here after some tweaking. Okay. Or I'm just looking at the wrong... yeah, wrong armature. So here, get this, and we grab the shin, for example, and then we expand with auto IK option. And yeah, let me show that's IK option. It's pose option animation. It's default, right? Properties. No, there's this tools, tools tab, pose option. So I have a auto IK. It's just Alt X my shortcut. So wait, on pose mode. No, sorry, not Alt X. It's the, yeah, not Shift Alt X, Alt X. There we go. So it was always on for the majority part. Then we grab this, and then we can do this, and then we can also so this is the normal, so you don't even to grab this, but then we can grab this and expand to the hip left, to both hips, or to the whole, yeah, to the whole. And so this is the what I call the puppeteering skeleton for 3D animation. It's way more versatile. Look at this. So I can, yeah, this I'm extrapolating the, so I can grab here, and then let's extrapolate to the, yeah, as soon as I reach the connector bone in the middle, I have, and of course I can do this with one arm or the other arm, or I can do similar stuff, but instead of the leg, we can start pushing the torso. Here something is broke. Let's do the other direction. This is a glitch. Don't mind. So you see, it's pushed actually the torso indeed. We don't see, unfortunately. I reported, but they. This is because just because there's an inverse kinematic bone constraint on the some head bone, even it's totally inactive, it's still causing the glitch. But this doesn't prevent posing. And then we can, of course, there is some properties here that if we look at them, we can do some more crazy stuff. There's yeah, there's some ice track. What's the ice track? Hold on. Oh no, the ice, sorry, yeah, this ice track is like for this, right? Okay, very, very regular stuff, right? And then there is the head track, right? So this is super typical, but not so trivial to do. Nice, welcome, Art Stream. Welcome, bro. So let's see. Then this is, of course, custom properties that the bones are. This will be, I'm gonna do probably tomorrow because it's tedious. It's kind of late. Maybe I could try to make this now. Yeah, let's try to make this now. Then I get cleaned up these things, and then I return later to the helper rig on the body. Okay, so then we have a switch here. It says the old rig. It's in the, yeah, I need the custom property bones. This can be in the rig UI, which we're gonna build for with the bone manager extension add-on, right? So here instead also gonna get the, yeah, let's get the feet's high heel stance here. Anyways, let's reset. Here's the high heel stance. And okay, but this doesn't, I'm not gonna use this for now. I strike head track, and that means that now we have typical head track here, right? You can rotate. It needs to be here, rotate on Y. It doesn't, the trackball rotation doesn't do good job here, so we have this and RY. I couldn't automate this RY here, so probably this maybe can something local. No, it's not local, so I still need the RY here for some reason. Yeah, alright, let's go crazy. I think it's because I'm not using, this is quaternions, right? So It has more freedom, but no gimbal lock, but it has some issues. We need to specify a little better the axis of rotation. So whichever angle usually will work, and RY. So I have all three axes here, and we can do a gradual, right? As instead of Boolean, right? Instead of on-off, we can do gradual. So next feature, I key head. So this is I key bone constraint. So this is the glitchy part that I was presenting, and the I key. This is the pin head and pinning of the head. This we can use, for example, with this feature by expanding the auto I key length. We can not seeing the whole results here, but hold on, let's make a. Yeah, so the head is pinned, but we can still control the head through this master I key. So the head is pinned, and now we can. Let's see, I'm not seeing the behavior that I wanted for the spine for some reason. It should do something else. There are some problems though. The I key bone constraint on the head, it's doesn't really. There are a lot of problems because the spine is like this. It doesn't stretch. It doesn't bend in all directions with this with this feature. So to do the bending on both directions, you have to manipulate the bones individually. It's doable, but it's annoying, right? And then we can finally bend in this way, so, or make it bend the other direction. This is not like the auto IQ option. See, the auto IQ option doesn't have this limitation. So there's another technique that's also limitation, that giving the not making the auto IQ option with the IQ bone constraint. Let's disable it. Can also be partial. There's another way to do this, to have the IQ bone constraint, IQ chain of the IQ bone constraint be a mechanism chain that is dependent on the, yeah, so this is auto IQ option, so this is much more flexible. I can bend, but it doesn't pin the head. But there is one setup that allows spinning of the head, but it causes other major problems. Maybe it's feasible here. The way to achieve it would be to this is my old rig, by the way, so let's try to attempt some crazy things here. I'm gonna unparent this. No, not this. I'm gonna unparent the control spine connect here. Which add-on use for rigging? Sorry about the delay. Okay, so there's a good question, because there are a lot of possibilities, right? To like maybe hundreds of possibilities, and every add-on can cause major trouble in updates, right? So you need to be very careful about that, especially if you are using likely, like myself, like to use the latest stable version. So I'm using essentially, yeah, Bone Manager, which an extension, right? So Bone Manager, and now there's a CG Dive tutorial to get that explains how to make the rig UI with Bone Manager add-on. I didn't know for years, and now he made that. Oh, that's how it works. You need to get this just tricky. You need to enable this rig UI setup. Then you can enable some features here. I never done it, so this I'm gonna do in the end. So this is one add-on that is precious, free, can contribute, but yeah, it's super good for, you can make parenting here, but this is temporary because you can have something even better than that. This is for rig editions, but for animation you have the rig panels, which are a bit hard to configure without, also for custom properties, like right. So okay, so this, I was doing this through Python scripting. So the other add-on that I use for rigging in Blender is the, let's see, this I find like one of the best add-ons, like not inbuilt, not extension, like it's Wiggle 2 add-on. This is huge. It has some problems, right? The collision system, it's I never, a lot of people have problem with it, but this one is like crazy. It's very hard to learn from scratch. Like, not very hard, it's hard. It's like it took me a couple months to start to, there are good tutorials around, but it's like this one, you have to bake the stuff. Also, there's some pretty annoying things. It's bone physics, it's not cloth physics. So I have this for the, let's see, yeah, if I enable, there's some in the so it lags a lot with subdivision surface modifier. So there's some, it lags a lot with the itself in my computer list. So I need to be careful about some stuff to use it. But let's see, where's the, yeah, this is the old rig. Okay, then let's get the hair and show how good this is when used properly. So it's physics bones. So I'm playing the timeline here, and you can, yeah, you can keyframe then and make some other adjustments. I can show all the features here, but yeah, I'm using auto IQ option, so I can do crazy thing with the, it's like almost you can use the auto IQ option, which is not an add-on, it's already patched with Blender, right? It's a, so you can do some physics here, animate physics very easily with this thing. But this thing also make automation through physics, and you can use both, right? You can combine both. Then you need to bake, but need to be careful with baking because this will create keyframes in every frame, something like that. The add-on is here, animation. We go to add-on, so each bone can have bone tail physics or bone head physics if it has its head free. So this one has its head free. These one are parented connect, so they don't have bone tail. And they have some mass, stiffness, some values that, and then you can make keyframing of this. So let's make some keyframing of this, and then let's keyframe this, and then this, of course, this will create a simulation, I guess. It's because I'm not, yeah, I need to keyframe all the bones right once, right? So it's not, let's redo this. So basically, let's do some crazy stuff here. Not even try to make an animation, a good animation, just, this is physics already. The bones are probably wiggling here because of the simulations. And if I reset, yeah, they're, and they will try to follow. Yeah, it's not, you need probably to bake to see the final results, but often we can see good results already with just the simulations here before baking. So oops, there are a lot of things to this, so it's tricky. And collision systems, I could never get it to work properly, unfortunately. But otherwise, there's wind effect. This is crazy. That's very good, and you can see real time in Blender. It's for, can use directly for animation. So this is one very important one that I think for certain features, it will be very hard to live without something like this, right? And then, so I substitute all the physics for this so far, for the character rigging, right? And then another add-on that I don't use too much because I'm not animated to this inbuilt one, global transform. Something about copy pasting bones, keyframes, and maintaining the global transform, something like that. And they added new features recently, so I don't even remember exactly why you need this for, but this is important for a 3D animation in Blender, so this can be useful. Besides that, yeah, oh yeah, for rigging, of course, there is something. I'll have to show here the. Hold on, let's look at the screen here. Yeah, need to. Here and add this. This is very important. This is, I think it's an extension. Easy waves. So this is absolutely fundamental, especially I think in after Blender 4.2 or something like that, because easy waves. Yeah, because this you have this feature here that you absolutely necessary. Always auto clean. What is this? Okay, I don't remember if I enabled this, but this one is the only one I used to this fix one rigging problem. I have a highlight you can search about this. I have some folders collection with in my YouTube channel with this icon folder, right? You can find something about this, why this is so important. I documented why that this is fundamental for wave painting because it fixes a problem. Yeah. And then we have, let's see if there's, I don't remember animal. I never used that, so just maybe good for animation. Bone widgets, yeah, it's like sometimes good, sometimes not so good. It's good for those, I think it's good for those, it's better for those bones that have very specific, unique shapes and made for hands asymmetric ones. But for those ones which repeat everywhere, it's not so good in my opinion because it will create a lot of extra objects. And this can be a problem for certain workflows and little problem that I don't like. So it's good for, I don't like this aspect of the add-on. Otherwise, for this shaping, there are tutorials about that. So this is a very good one for custom shapes, worth having. It's free also, but I think there's a paid version. Then, yeah, bone widget add-on. Copy global transform already mentioned. And mouse extended VRM. This is an add-on for an add-on. So this is for VRM, virtual reality modeling, like those avatar stuff. So this is useful, but only if you're doing VRM. Then we have Rigify. I'm trying to adapt. Rig on the fly I don't use. I tried to use, but I couldn't adapt so much. It's very specific. It's free. You can check. There's a Discord community. It allows to, while animating, destroy and reconstruct the rig, and for some reason, this makes rigging easier for the certain aspects of rigging. Very interesting approach, but it has some limitations, right? It requires the animator, the rigger actually, the rigger to, and the animator, right, to follow very specific rules of rigging and animation, just like Rigify, they are, right, just any rig, right? So it's very specific, but it's free and it's very advanced. It can be worth if you're curious about alternative ways. Rigify, yes, same story, but extension actually inbuilt. Rococo for retargeting. I've worked this animation. I've seems to work fine. And then Shape Key Skipper. Yes, Shape Key is still rigging. Very important, it allows to apply all sorts of modifiers while preserving the shape keys. So because I love mirror modifier and other stuff, I can do shape keys with and just apply the mirror modifier or whichever modifier just when needed or at the very end. Don't need to apply just on the very end. You can apply anytime. It's an extension, right? So it's free also in build. Bendy Bones Toolkit, super valuable because this was CG Dive exposed this, presented. He didn't make the, but he presented because otherwise I wouldn't know about so soon maybe. So this is an automator for these bendy bone splines that are, yeah, the setups that are automated for game engines. You know, when you don't have bendy bones, so if exportation of deformed bones and rigged models, so you can have these automates in setups that are actually the best ones. A very simple setup, very straightforward, and does the job of the adaptation. It mimics the spline skinning algorithm, the spline skinning method of Blender with the bendy bones, with regular deformed bones. So it creates this. This was written. This technique was written. I think it was first exposed publicly in a book, commercial book, right? I don't remember the name of the book right now, but I have it. Some guy that make rigging for Blender with Blender for games, something like this. Hassal, something like that. The name of the guy. Hold on. A complete guide to character rigging for game. Yeah, this for game using Blender. Yeah, this is the book. So then yeah, anything else? Vertex group assistant. I don't remember this. Yeah, I installed, but I don't know what is it. VRM formed. Okay, this is the main add-on extension for VRM that you can combine with the mal extension, which is an add-on that you need to download from a GitHub site. It complements. I've had some content already, not good content, but good in relation to exposing a bit more these add-ons, how they are used in Blender. But there are other tutorials about them, a few others that are good. So it works for VRM, again, avatars in Blender. But avatars, I found, is very limiting if you don't use Unity in the workflow. I don't have even Unity installed. I don't want to learn it anytime soon. So it makes it very difficult. Despite the add-on, we have lots of limitation. But the add-on is very good, and it includes the workflow with Unity in a more advanced approach. And then I think that's, yeah, Wiggle 2 finally, I already mentioned. Maybe there's some, yeah, there's Cloud Rig, but it's same as Rigify. I haven't, and now Cloud Rig in later Blender version is a what is F2? There's something about an add-on that copies vertex group merge bones, but I think this, let's see. This one, it's an extension, bone and vertex group merge. Yeah, this I think it has some bugs, but I think it can be useful. So you merge two deformed bones and they merge their vertex groups all together. So this can be super useful, but unfortunately, I haven't found. I don't think it's very good for. I think it needs some fixes, or I didn't have learned how to use it properly. Yeah, so these are the add-ons. So it is not too much stuff. And usually for add-ons, I favor simplicity. I don't like those add-ons or extensions that are super complicated, that you have to learn like entirely different things to be able to use them, or you can't understand their features very well. I like, unless it's something so valuable for me that I don't see any other way of doing that. And yeah, it's good to learn, but it's every add-on is a school of learning. You need to dive a little in it. So, and then when you update, you must pray or something like that, if for them not to break or to, yeah. Right now, because of what I'm doing, I have a breaking things of the even of the extension bone manager. And maybe you've heard that there's like this is super lagging when I touch some. I can not even, yeah. So I'm remaking the rig from scratch, the skeleton, right? Because of this. Otherwise, my armature here is unusable in certain ways. Like I cannot even click here. If I right click to change the color collection of the old armature, it will lag. Well, here it's instantaneous. If I click here, it will lag. If I click here, it will lag. It will 20 seconds lag. You can freeze. Like it's something that's happening in my old armature imported from, right, open from older Blender files in Blender 4.5 LTS, and very unfortunate. But that's okay. So this is a problem of using lots of add-ons. And very curiously, lately, in the latest updates of Blender, my add-ons have been working very smoothly. The guys are, the developers are having also very fast and clean in making the communication with the Blender folks, developers. Maybe it's better now, and so they know the codes. It's easier not to fix problems. I think this happens naturally after they unified the extensions, right? They preset rules. They inform the developers of add-ons what they are doing and of extension, what are critically changing the Python modules and stuff like that. I think that's something like that is happening, and this have much good life for the add-ons, values the add-ons way more than before. I remember about 2 years ago, everything was breaking all the time. It was horrible. You had to think, oh, do I even want to use add-ons at all? Because okay, so let's go back to the, I think I can do a few more things here. Let's try to make, yeah, maybe not the drivers because they are super annoying, but at least the bones of the aim face. Yeah, these are their custom shapes. And oh, but I don't have the eyes rig set up. Yeah, so it is won't. Yeah, no, it's not a good idea. No, yeah. So let's find something else to achieve the conclusion here. New rig, yes. Deform skeleton, okay. Features. Yeah, I think only that is left for the body now is the... Oh, forgot the... Yeah, I'm gonna note this anyway, so body rigging, let's get something here. No, I can do this now, sorry. Yeah, this let's do this now. Is the leg thing here, the leg equivalent for the arm, so very simple, it's just the deformation, and we don't want to be looking at this old rig, just the new rig and just the skeleton here. So we need to bring now this one. Yeah, gonna bring it here. We're gonna snap this bone here, gonna align it to... Yeah, good question. Should this be a bendy bone? Yeah, I have never tried. This can be dangerous. I've already tried. Smoother bones here don't... it's garbage. At least the way it is not really helpful for more radical deforms. the spline skinning go very nuts with in certain conditions. So it can be, so the alignment of this, should it be, yeah, it's because here is for the shoulder. The shoulder is very special. So, and this will be something for if this was a bendy bone for doing some sort of deforms here, which I don't think it will exist. Okay, I'm gonna make this anyways, so to make some experiments later, but probably gonna delete because my experience here is traumatic, so I think it's not gonna be. It's a hip, yeah, hip left, handle, yeah, that's it, because this is a deform hip left, which is unnatural, but this actually can help deforms to have this separated, right? And they can move all together too. So here we got this. The parent of this needs to be, let's see, tweak shoulder, so tweak hip, which is control, yeah, just parent it here, and symmetrize, and now we duplicate this and snap here, align to, yeah, the pelvis, then we get handle, pelvis, not the femur, but it actually is the thigh left, parent to the tweaker, so it's aligned, so it can't have it can have different orientations than this. The parent, ignore the orientations, don't care about it's just parenting. And now Shift D again, we're gonna symmetrize them later, we're gonna find that position, move that here, align here, change its name, ankle, and parent it here. I think I did that. No, didn't do. Select the handle ankles, select this and symmetrize. There we go. They could be a bit bigger here, so just for the sake of this, yeah, cleaning of the rig, right, for all kinds of manipulations, right? Then all right, it's ready, so just need to turn this into bendy bones. Gonna give them 5 segments. We need this thing here. Let's do it again. Now it's symmetrizing. All right, then we get, yeah, straight for these ones. Oh yeah, we're gonna get this one also segmented. This one will be curved as well. Let's see if, let's change this. Yes, correct. Then we are gonna, yeah, let's start with here. So we're not gonna make change to this base just later if we find. I'm not even sure why we would tweak this. Yeah, maybe this can bring some usefulness, we'll see. So we will leave automatic, and we need this handle. This will be absolute. Then we symmetrize, will resymmetrize. Now we get this. Yeah, let's batch this thing. And actually also use this. Then we need, here you can use ankle. Here we're gonna use start. And yeah, so actually this is wrong. There's nothing here. And nothing here also. So this is probably safer. I've already had a rig that addressed this, so here we don't want, yeah. Okay, with this, I can change these colors because, well, it's all bendy bone, so mostly it's all bendy bone. Let's change this one's color to something, the head bone, right? Super important bone, so yeah. But by default, this my color here is, yeah, it's a handle color. So what should I do with the handles? I turned the handles into that other color. I need to find a, oh yeah, I need to symmetrize this stuff, I guess. Okay, I think I haven't symmetrized those things. Same for the deformed bones. Yeah, that should do. There you go. Now we have, so the tweakers now, they can control. And so this will already enable some freaking, some twisting feature, right? Without the need of other, so the, what's happening here? Ah, it's the z-axis for this. Yeah, now it's the x-axis. All right, so this allows some wrist twisting, but we cannot exaggerate. It's like 180 degrees, positive, negative. We cannot exaggerate, or that will go nuts. It will create a sort of something similar to the dual quaternion skinning, but along the y-axis. It's like the warping artifact. It also happens in animation of rotations with quaternions if in certain specific cases. Okay, and these are not very good for the selections when we are looking at those things, right? Also here, yeah, I have to decide which one. Currently they have all the same size, so they won't appear, the tweakers in the control rig, so we don't need to do anything about them more than, why this is happening. Strange value here. And symmetrize, yeah, resymmetrize. That seems good. Okay, These bendy bones achieved, right? For the leg, although we don't know the results. This should improve the joints and will create the wrist. Well, the it will help the twisting of the ankle as well. So this is actually positive in many ways. And for the hips, yeah, this twist a little could help the, but must be very careful about. Well, it's a straight bone, so just this could. We'll see if there's any. Probably this slight change here won't be very critical. This twisting could be slightly valuable for some more gradual skinny, but if I see any anomaly, we'll making test. Just making this bendy bone or not will solve already. Will allow to test if it reducing its segments, right? So one, swapping that will already allow us to see if this has any hard impact on some radical poses of the leg or not. Okay, so after this, let's look for a few more bones here that we might be missing. Okay, so nothing here to see apparently. It's all done. Leverage. Ah, yeah. This is helper system. I think this. Yeah, all this is cloth and helper. Okay, this is what hair. The main skeleton is achieved. Yeah, with improvements even. And that's all the facial rigs. The last thing, because I'm rebuilding some setups there. Yeah. Some new setups are here. The upper face is ongoing. Oh, I have helpers here. Let's rearrange here so we can aim. Not all the helpers are here because you have some leverage which are here, right? Yeah, let's move this to outside. Where it gone? Okay, I've lost one bone collection. Help something. Ah, no, it's here. Okay. Outside of the... Okay. Yeah, let's leave it there so... I can't change the bone collections color here. So lag too much. Okay, nothing in the... Ah, there's these arrows here. Yeah, this is good. And there's some stuff here. There's also shapes. No, I'm not gonna do this now, but relevant to consider. Yeah, okay, so folks, I think we got enough progress here. I do more offline stuff, and eventually tomorrow, if I get this back, we're gonna go finally reach the gonna redo the helper rig, and then the head face stuff, and that will be done. Yeah, probably take 2 more days, but we're very close to getting finally to the to the new rebrand of this. It has a few new features, and for the facial rig, I made some adjustments to the melt rig, Bendy Bones melt rig. It's with the Universe Sonic melt rig setup also. So where's the here? So this is working very well. I have some with lot of features, but I still gonna need to complete, right? And I started doing this in the old rig, and then I got tired of this. I'm never gonna fix this thing. I need a new armature, and so far this is working with no lag here, so that's good news for me. All right, so folks, thanks for watching. Thanks Art Dream. So feel free to uh, uh, come back again and ask some questions or bring some ideas. So folks, that's it for today. Super boring rigging, but good workflow for anyone that will be interesting to look at custom rigging and some other features. So yeah folks, enjoy, have a nice week. See you soon, maybe.